Hey
I was
y'all.
over there jamming.
You know,
I had a whole dance break going on over here.
not a dance, child.
Yeah, they
I,
don't take much.
I do love the music, child. That's the music I use for the podcast. I got somebody off Fiverr to do that. It sounds really like chill. Like it
hmm
yeah,
I
yeah.
need somebody to do some music for me.
Period. Go on
Otherwise,
Fiverr.
I'm gonna end up going to Epidemic Sound.
Not epidemic. Look, Fiverr. Look, let me tell you something. I outsource a lot of stuff for my content. Because let me tell you something. I don't do everything. I'm only responsible for the audio and posting it and getting it ready for YouTube and all that. But I'll be doing this creational music, girl. We're gonna pay somebody to do it, okay? Anyway, how y'all doing? We here to talk about Real Housewives of New Jersey. You know, my
Yes, those
state.
Mm,
crazy women.
they are
Okay.
crazy. God help us.
We're gonna go around the room and introduce yourselves for the people on the live chat.
Oh, did I share this out?
Well, I'm Yakutis. Howdy, howdy.
How you doing?
I mean, I'm all right. I don't know what we're about to get into with the show because I mean I don't know everybody's opinion, so this should
Right,
be
right.
interesting to say the least.
It will.
And this one right here is a firecracker.
Uh-huh.
I'm that nigga. Uh,
Okay, El Teddy. We look. Okay. We not gonna do. Because I think me and El Teddy might agree with a lot of things when it comes to Teresa and Melissa and that whole debacle child. Now we going timeline it because there's just a lot to get into, a lot to unpack. I will say this, or I guess for my opening thoughts for the episode, it was kind of eventful. I mean, a little bit better than the last one because I felt like the last one was like we're leading up to this whole sit down with all the guys for it to just be like a little, oh, y'all had like a little hissy fit with each other and then boom, y'all back being good again. Like it was just like, okay, well, not expecting Joe to like get up and have like a fight scene like he did like way past when, but
Well, I mean, last time he did it, he got thrown up against the wall and put on his back. So, and we getting up there in age. I know he's older than me, so them knees, that back, and all that ain't what they used to be. So he need to calm it down.
oh child, no, for real, he did because a lot that was said behind closed doors before that damn bar event was not said in person. I was like, okay, y'all holding back. Okay.
Well, I mean, okay, but both of them, both him and Louis, were both being phony, and I don't like
Yeah.
that. Like how
Yeah.
both of y'all got all this energy for each other, and as soon as y'all see each other, y'all slapping hands, giving a little pit pat hug, like.
Yeah, it was. I was like, ooh.
So for the both of them, I'm like, and I'm already side eyeing Louis, so I don't trust him.
I definitely don't trust Louis, but Joe ain't about two cents himself. Like I'll be looking at Joe too, like really. And poor Melissa.
I feel bad for
I
Melissa.
do feel bad for Melissa. It's like she just be caught in the middle. Teresa and everybody blaming her. And I know we gonna get there, but those two little chicks of Teresa, I don't trust them. I'm not here for them. I don't want no parts of them.
There's 4, but only 3 was on this episode. So it's Gia, Gabriella, who don't really talk, and then Melania. So which I guess
The two that been on this season, the
yeah.
only two we've had on this season.
Yeah,
okay,
man.
so Gabriella and Gia. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And the only two that was really talking, I mean, the stuff I was like, oh, okay, that's how y'all really feel. Okay, I mean, hey, like I said, you want to ride for your mom. That's what kids be doing. They ride for their parents. Like at the end of the day, whether they wrong or right, but it is what it is, child. I guess we can get into the details.
It's a mess.
A whole mess. Now we did get the taglines. That's another thing I wanted to mention too. I was like, okay, them taglines is cute. I don't know who did they shoot that little
right, because we didn't have taglines the first 3 episodes, did we?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
They just went straight into the
I mean, He did the same thing for Potomac too, and word on the street is Andy's going to get rid of the taglines.
It's old now. I mean, it's dated. Like, nobody's here for no more. And then the stuff that they be saying too is like, I'm a business mogul. Can't know. I'm like, girl, okay. With no businesses. Anyway. I ain't like that. Like when they, when they all come together at the end where you see like the video, it was like a little video gift of them like together. I was like, girl, what who took a picture of that child? I was like, Lord, y'all was looking at that. They was not looking good. It didn't paint Teresa in the best light, I will say.
Well, the thing is, they haven't redone all of their stuff, I think, for what, 2, maybe 3 seasons?
Wow.
So all they did is they kept the main girls and just added in the 2 new girls and just splashed them in. So that's why Teresa looks so bad. I'm not a Teresa fan, but I mean, being objective, that's why she looks so out of it. That's the nicest way I can put it.
Boy, I was just like, ooh, Lord. If I was Teresa, I'd be like, put that shit down now. Speaking of Teresa, okay, after a montage of videos of them coming back because the husbands came back home, I guess they were drunk or whatever. We got a little interaction with them. Teresa and Louis. Okay, and it was a mix between Teresa and Louis, and then it flipped back to the Gorgas, Melissa and Joe, and they were talking about the whole argument that happened in the previous episode. We all know about that. Do you think Louis was kind of adding fuel to the fire a little bit because he was saying like, yeah, like, because Teresa was like, well, how many times he was like, screw you or F you with his answer? He said so many times. I'm like,
Louis is like Peter to me. Louis is like Peter to me. You way too vested in and way too involved in these women's drama.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about Louis.
I agree, but I really get a sinking feeling that he is trying to isolate her. I really feel like that's what he's doing. Because I mean, here's the reality: you don't know their dynamic unless he didn't watch the show, scoped around. Because people fail to realize people who do that nowadays. That if you're on social media heavy, like people can stalk you, figure out what your likes is, and become that person. Nevertheless, it's like she's going off. You don't have to sit here and feel like, she's very insecure. Like, dude, like you're adding to it. You're not even trying to de-escalate it. So it's like, do you even want her to have a relationship with her brother? And even at the dinner last episode, even though I was cool with how they interacted, if you really looked at Louis, and I really didn't want to, but if you really look at the burnt crab, you can clearly see he was intentionally saying little things, doing little slick stuff to pull Joe out of character.
Yeah.
So it's like you're creating a whole lot of mess, and people like him I don't like. And again, I don't like Teresa, but the fact this man got you to marry him without a prenup,
girl.
The other thing that I did appreciate about New Jersey is they did start us back in the drama. When we came to this episode, girl, that happened last episode. We on to something new. It wasn't like we started back in the heat of the battle, and now we got to relive this all over. Oh dear God, I did appreciate. Please move me on. Please move me along. So I did like that.
Okay, all right. So like I said, it switches back to Melissa and Joe. They were saying their whole situation. They were talking about this podcast where I guess Melissa was talking about how they, helped with finances with Joe and stuff like that, because at one point when Teresa was in jail, they didn't do the show, and they essentially got rid of everybody except for Melissa, and I guess they were waiting for Teresa to come back at one point, but at that time it was just Joe. And I don't know, I still don't get what the issue is that they had with this damn podcast. Like, what did Melissa and them say that was that like crazy?
I'm guessing because I get what they said now that this episode would air. Because I think I'm not a Teresa fan, so I think they had a spinoff in between when the season ended and she went to prison, and then when she came back and she was able to resume. And what they were saying is Joe Giudice couldn't work because he's a felon. And as soon as Teresa came back, they was about to send him off, so he couldn't work. And of course, if he did work, they probably would have just taken the funds and gave it to the people that he owed it to. So they decided, okay, in order for this show to happen, he has to film with the Gorgas, because if he's just with the girls, it ain't hitting for nothing. So they were saying, if we didn't do this, then there wouldn't have been no money coming in. But the girls took it as with him saying, or them saying, we were there for you. So their thing is, Melissa and Joe wasn't there in the capacity that they wanted them. So I guess they expect them to be over there a lot more than what they were. So I think that's where the issue is, where they said they were there, but then the question is, how often were you there? So were you just there for the cameras?
But my problem with that is, you have these kids, these are children, okay? And a lot of things when you're a child, you look at it from a skewed or altered vantage point. So you don't see the whole big picture. And so clearly Teresa didn't have the whole picture because she's stuck in the fucking jail. So when she gets out, she's listening to her girl say, oh, this is how it was, and they ain't do right by us, not knowing the big picture. What does Teresa do? I'm siding with them and listening to what they have to say. Damn what y'all got to say, because y'all done made my kids angry. My girls over here crying. I see it all the time in schools. A mom come out there based solely on what that child has said, the skewed, altered depiction that child, and the mama coming out there to raise hell and to burn everything down to the ground. You try to talk to the mom, she ain't even hear you. She don't even want to hear it, because in her estimation, you're wrong because their child is crying or their child feels some kind of way, not trying to really sit down, listen to all of the sides and really deduce what really took place. And I feel like Teresa is just said, I'm just going to listen to what my girls are saying. She's not even, remember, she wasn't trying to hear Melissa at all. She don't want no parts of Melissa because she think Melissa is responsible for what Joe got going on. But she's not. It's Joe.
It's Joe.
Joe is the one who got all that going on. That coupled with these girls who never had anybody sit them down and say, listen, this is really what was going on. But they're just going off of their feelings. You know why kids are, and I know they're in their 20s or late teens now, but they're still basing how they feel on the skewed vantage point that they had from back in the day. So it's never going to be a win situation for Melissa, because it's never going to be a win-win situation for her. She's never going to win.
Yeah, because she's always going to be like, that's his influence. That she's the one that's behind closed doors. That's what Teresa's mindset is. But I do think that I don't think that Joe and the Gorgas was not in their lot or trying to help and aid any type of way that they needed to. I mean, they got their lives of their own. They got their own kids. They got their own situations going on. I'm not just going to sit there and be like, okay, you guys did this to my kids. They didn't do nothing. They clearly, literally did nothing to your kids, but maybe not show up enough.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, maybe. All right. But like,
well, wait, but it's not just that. Teresa has been very vocal about her feelings about more or less Melissa and Joe, and she does something that I don't like that parents do, and that is trauma dump on your children. Because now you're including your children in grown folk business, so now their mentality is automatically skewed because, okay, well, this is my mother, so if my mother feels this way about my uncle, it must be true. So when they're interacting with him, they're thinking about what their mother said, so that also plays into it. It's a whole kerfuffle. Yeah. It's a lot.
Okay, all right. I guess I can see that perspective, but to me, when I was hearing those girls talk about like, oh my goodness, like this, I'm just like, girl, where is that coming from? Like, it seems like Teresa's in their ear. I
think it's the other way around. I think they were in Teresa's ear at first, Teresa took that and ran with it and put, as you know, in the immortal words of Satana, some sauce on it.
Not some sauce on. Now we talking about her, child. I'm tired. Look,
Yeah, you know we're exhausted with them all.
I don't even want to think about them right now
Girl.
until it's time for the third reunion, child. Anyway, you know, so they had their little situation. Wasn't much to talk about with there, but we get a scene with Dolores and Frankie. Now, it wasn't much to talk about here. I mean, other than the fact that we seen with Dolores, we seen Dolores's mother. I don't think I ever seen her mom before. I was like, okay,
she's been on.
Frankie seems to be. I will say Frankie seemed to be level-headed. Frankie was kind of dissecting everything and breaking it down for what it was. I liked Frankie in this situation.
Yeah. Because he was talking about the whole dynamic between Frank and I think what's the new dude again, Louis or Paulie. In their little beef that they got going on. And I love Frankie's point to the fact that, like, you know, he expect this dynamic to be just like the one where you was with the other guy. I forgot that guy's name, but yeah, David. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, no, Frank. You know, what's the name? Paulie is like, we ain't. Look, we gonna do a smooth transition. Her child grown, so you don't really have to be here that much, really. It seemed like I don't know. Does Frankie want like some type of throuple? Not Frankie. Frank. There we go.
Frank must not be getting none. That's got to be his problem. Clearly, he must not be getting none, or as much as he wants, because he looked like he really want that old thing back. But you know, that's the whole adage. You don't know what you got till it's going. I don't know. You always happy that they single. When they get somebody, then you got a problem. I ain't never had that problem with my ex. You can go be with anybody as long as it ain't with me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, look, hopefully they get it together. I mean, her storyline is very interesting.
Yeah.
But it does have the ability to go real left real quick because it seemed like if one say the wrong, because I think it was last episode, it seemed like Frank wanted to steal.
Okay.
He said, don't have her doing man stuff, and
Frank is a little volatile at this point.
The way he looked at Paul, I was like, we do for another husband fight, another boyfriend fight.
When somebody throwing somebody else across the goddamn room and shit.
Got the hairspray, because you know.
Oh Lord!
You know, poor Joe child was losing that hair. What the fuck is all this black?
At least he accepted it. At least he's come to accept it, because
that
wasn't a good look. Because it looked like somebody had, cartridge toner all on the shirt after they felt to. Like, what is this?
Not cartridge toner. Oh my god!
You know, have you ever seen those people? I've seen people recently who have the tattooed hair. Have you ever seen? It's the weirdest thing in the world. That's kind of like what Joe looked like. I've seen a couple people. They have
tattoo
hair like the black tattooed hair.
Yeah, like it's like a little line. Like Tory Lane's dad is like that. Like he got that tattooed hairline thing. Yeah. I think it's just
okay.
It's something new. It's something new, child. But anyway, that was an interesting scene with Dolores and Frankie. It wasn't much to talk about there, but Jennifer and Bill, I found this scene aggravating. Because
Jennifer aggravates me every time she goes straight.
Annoying, literally. So basically, they sit down. They had this little dinner, whatever. I love what they was eating. I love what these girls. When these girls go to the restaurant, child, or maybe it's just I ain't had my dinner at that time when I was watching it. But damn, they go to the best restaurants here, child. Look, I'm in Jersey. Where they at? Look, put the damn restaurant on the show. But basically, they were having this argument. I guess Jennifer feels that Bill isn't like doesn't defend her enough, or is not on her side when she's like getting into it with the girls, and it's just like he's not gonna get catty. He's not like he's not a Peter. Child, let me not bring him up, child.
Mhm.
I mean, I do get both sides. I just think that she's more on the extreme. Because you know how they say, when it comes to, people and family and whatnot, how you support in public but correct in private.
Yeah.
Because he supports her. She wants him to be rah. Better yet, what's his name? What's Danielle's husband? At the very
When they
end,
was leaving, and he was like,
he was just like,
"You
"You
sure
don't
you
want
ready
to
to
go
go?
check her?"
'Cause you can go fuck that bitch up if you want."
Right.
I was there for it.
But I think that's
You
what
sure
she
you want to go
wants.
fuck her up?
No, I'm
That
saying I think that's what she wants is for Bill to be right behind her, like, yeah,
But
da da da.
but my
And he's
my
not
problem
doing
with
that.
Daddy is y'all are not in front of everybody. This just y'all two, and you can actually have your husband say, "Listen, I was with you while you were there, but you know you was wrong. You know you ain't got no business doing that." You're not in front of everybody now. It's just
okay.
you and your husband. And even now, when it's just the two of you, you want him to just go along with whatever, no matter what crazy shit you do. And that's not fair.
And also I think that when she is getting into it with the other girls, like, does she expect him to like be like, all right, y'all ain't messing with, like, y'all gotta chill out or something? Like, no, like, you talking to, first of all, because these people got their mans too. If they man feel like you coming for their girl, they gonna come at you. It's gonna be a whole thing.
And not just that, she at work, she getting paid to do this. So you want your husband. So pretty much she wanted her husband to pull a Ross last season on Atlanta. We were like, y'all not gonna F with my wife. Like,
and I had a problem with that. And I had a problem with that.
If
I
that's
have
what
no
you
problem
want,
with that, but I don't have no problem with anything Ross does. He can do whatever he wants.
We know.
But I'm saying, like, if that's what she wants, that's a lot. But she also got to realize your husband is a surgeon. He does have a reputation to protect. So when he's trying to escort you out, he's trying to de-escalate the situation because you're a reflection of him. Like, it's a whole thing. And it's just like, I used to like Jen because most of the time she went off, she was defending herself. The last 2 seasons, I don't know what the hell happened.
She is. I don't know what's going on with her. She, like they said, she is losing friends. She's losing connections. She's just not. I don't know what's going on with her. She needs some help. She don't seem stable.
But you know what? It also seems like she's trying to punish Bill. And I feel like that's gonna blow up in her face. Because she even said last season, well, if he cheats or whatever, I'm gonna just take half of everything he got. I hope she don't end up like Ashley, but what might happen is he might be like, you know what, take half, get out of my life, and you be over there. But it's like her saying, oh, well, Justin wanted a party bus for prom, so I went and got it. Like, she doesn't consult him. And it seemed like, oh, well, you just bought a Ferrari, so I did it. It's like a tit for tat and saying, oh, well, what you put us through last year. That's not his fault. It happened years ago. You chose not to deal with it. You pushed it down, thought no one knew. And because you never dealt with it and it came back up, that ain't his fault. You took him.
But that party bus situation was real crazy to me. Like, I was looking at her like, what?
A party bus, child.
She was real mad about that. She was real mad about that. I was like, Bill was right. He was right. You don't need no party bus.
You better get a damn Uber Black. Let me stop.
Honestly, she really just needs to, like, tell him what her problem is.
Yeah.
Because all of what they were talking about, even though they're legit, I don't think that's her problem. It's something else she's not saying, and she gonna keep on. What's gonna happen? I don't know what happened the first time, but either she gonna push him into the arms of another woman, or he just gonna up and leave.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I'm just like, girl, it's giving very much Drew. Because wasn't that shit happening with them? They was doing little dinner dates and stuff like that, and every time it was a little argument with some stupid shit. Jen, we got to be smarter. I think that they need to sit down and go to. It'd be good if they, talk it out at a therapy. Not therapist, but like, family counseling or whatever, or marriage counseling. It's definitely due. And I think that people should do counseling, even if you are doing well. You know,
I
because
think that with Jen, I think a lot of this is because it's for cameras, and so I don't see her stopping. I think she wants to pit herself as a villain now, because on these shows, the villain is the lucrative position on these shows.
okay,
They like villains on
Mm.
Bravo. They celebrate villains.
yeah,
They pay villains.
yeah, yeah. Look how they got this.
So I don't think she wants to give up that villain role.
But if the women are smart, they can turn that against her.
Hmm.
Because look at how she's moving right now. Let's be honest. Who is her friend on the show? She only got one. Actually, she ain't got no friends on the show.
Melissa.
Teresa ain't her friend. You're Teresa's do girl. So she ain't got no friends. So her connection to
So
Teresa
they can ice her out.
Right. And look, what would happen if I was watching, I believe it was Color Me Pink's channel, and she had made a good point, said, get rid of Joe and Melissa, no shade on that, but give Teresa her own show, almost like a Keeping Up with the Kardashians type of thing, to where it just focuses on that and then surround the show around the new girls. Because we have enough to where we can start there and go. But what happens if they took out Teresa, took out Melissa, and now you're left with the rest of the cast? So what that next season gonna be? You sitting here kissing everybody's ass? But again, if the women wanted to, they could just not give her energy. Oh well, Marge, I heard that da. So Melissa, how was dinner with Joe? I heard y'all went over here, and literally ignore her, say nothing to her, and better yet, it was that one Atlanta season reunion where Sheree kept trying to come at Nene, and Nene just, I don't have a problem with you. It's nothing. And what happened? She didn't come back.
She did not come back. Yeah, I remember that too. They had like one little argument. That was it.
That was it.
So yeah, I think that it might backfire on Jennifer because she doesn't have a lot of friends on there. I mean, like people can sit there and say, "Well, we don't want to tape with her," and then that's basically how you get fired off the show. That's what happened to Phaedra. Anybody want to tape her?
There's only one housewife that got away with not shooting with the whole cast for one season. Nene. There's two housewives. Yeah. Danielle Staub from this cast. It was season 2 of this cast, because for the majority of the season, she shot with two gentlemen that were like her do boys. And she only interacted with the girls either 2 or 3 times. But the entire season, she didn't shoot with the girls. And they allowed it.
See, here's the thing though. If someone is actively not shooting with you on a season that's like currently going on right now, they're not going to fire you. But I'm saying like, okay, this season ended. Okay, we gonna ice her out. Next season, they people telling them that we're not gonna take with them. No one's taking with them. Then that's how they get fired. You get what I'm saying? Like that's kind of like how Phaedra got fired. She literally after that situation, and that's what Andy told us. He was like, well, they don't want to tape with her, so that's why we got rid of her. So I mean, there was times where Nene, like I said, Nene's the other example. She didn't get taped, but see, they couldn't get rid of Nene at that point because she was at that point, she was the show. It still is.
Yeah. I hate to admit it, but yeah.
Jennifer, you don't have the rank, honey, unless you really trying to do a Giselle. Because that bitch is in a position where she can never really get booted off.
I don't know.
The
fact, though, I mean, hate to go there, but the fact that she blamed her lack of a storyline on production, that's a no-no. Because from what I hear, the people you never want to piss off as a reality TV star is production. Like, you see how production gives certain people nice edits because they're nice to them. Because they did that to Portia for the longest. As soon as Portia showed her natural black, you know what happened? She got her own show, and they show the real. So now that you just blame production, like, oh, it's production's fault. Production and their production of Potomac, they shady. Oh, I think they really gonna do her a disservice. Because she even broke down at the season 5 reunion, but we never saw it. I think they about to get her come season 8. You don't
I hope
blame
they
production.
do. I hope they do.
Because if you watch Beverly Hills, Kyle never blames production. She just eats it. Giselle might get it.
She might. Okay, so we get this meeting with Rachel and Jennifer too. I'm gonna call her Jennifer too because it's so hard to decipher the Jennifer child. So basically they talk about the other Jennifer because I guess she's been talking to them and saying that with Rachel she was like, she was talking about my nose or whatever, and then she ended up getting on the phone with her saying that talking crap about Dolores. And then Jennifer too was like, well, Jennifer called me and was talking crap about Margaret. So Jennifer is just, I don't know what she was doing. And these people are cool with the people that she was talking crap about. I think I paid it as maybe she wants them to run back to them because that's what they did anyway at the end of the show. But like, I don't know. I didn't. Did y'all get that vibe from like what was Jennifer's plan with telling these new girls, oh yeah, don't mess with her, or telling somebody's history or whatever?
I think I'm with you. I believe she was strategic. She wanted the bone to be carried.
Yeah. It just seems so lazy.
It seemed like maybe she was trying to rally some new friends.
Okay.
Because I mean, these are new people to the show. Okay, not guaranteed if they're really going to be on. So some people be like, okay, you've been on the longest, or you've been on for a long time. Let me try to link up with you. So maybe she was trying to pull them over to her side because again, she has no friends. Honestly, I don't know. It was just stupid.
Girl, she
grabbed. But I will say I appreciate Rachel though, because Rachel told her, you ain't finna talk about D-Lo.
Okay, Rachel, a real one. I ain't like Rachel in the beginning, but I like her now.
Don't be playing around.
Yeah, she look, and don't be coming for her nose. Ain't nothing wrong with her little, that thing go out.
First of all, I fully expected Rachel to clock that bitch in the nose.
Ooh.
What's the problem with my nose job? Bitch, you go get a nose job now.
Another one, okay. And my girl Jennifer, you not that. I mean, y'all both getting the damn Michael Jackson noses. So I mean, it's the pot calling the kettle black.
A mess.
Because Jennifer child got a couple nip tucks, so I could tell.
I just want to. Do you think that Jennifer is doing all of this body modification to? Okay, picture
her marriage. Oh,
picture it. Look, Kim and Faith Evans. Faith Evans had Biggie. Kim at one point had Biggie, but did not have him. If y'all think about it, Lil' Kim over the years has done everything to look more and more like Faith Evans.
Oh.
So I say that to say, do you think that Jen is doing this modification to look like the woman that Bill cheated on her with? Or maybe knowing that he might have a type and trying to look a certain way? Like even with Tamar Braxton, how she said she would wear blonde hair and all this other stuff because Vince liked those type of girls.
Oh, and that's sad. That's sad. If that's true, that's real sad.
Just a thought.
Because if the man don't want you, he just don't want you, child. Ain't nothing that you can do. Ain't nothing that you can change. That's gonna change the reality of it is. But I mean, I don't know. I think that because the dude, her husband is a plastic surgeon, so I mean, she's getting freebies. I mean, that's what I paid it as. Hey.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he's done her surgeries. I believe he has said in one season that he didn't want to touch her.
Well, he probably got the discount codes,
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, look, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, here you go. 05777. Go ahead and type it in. Go ahead and get your little nip tuck.
I mean, I'm sure it may have still happened that the same, practice that he's at. It may just not have been him.
Yeah. But that could be a thing though. She's trying to look like the person that he cheated on her with. I just think of the girl, that's sad. That's you better do your exit plan at that point.
Wait, while you talking about exit plans, think about Lisa from Miami. I think it might have been season 3 or 4 said, my husband built the perfect wife, I built the perfect life.
Yeah.
And this season, he pushing your ass right on out the door and with somebody else. So, and she ain't have no exit strategy either. So
we got to be more smart, child. I don't see how y'all get into these spaces with these men and y'all don't have like y'all don't have a contingency plan. Let me tell you something. Look, when it comes to love and stuff like that, you know, I will trust the person I'll be with. But at the end of the day, at the back of my mind, your ass might leave me, your ass might cheat on me, or whatever the case is. I need to start wiring some money into this little account until time. Okay. Because you ain't gonna have me out here looking crazy. These people.
Well, not just that. Like, if you're getting an allowance, which most of them are, buy stuff that appreciates, not depreciates, so you can sell it off if you need to. Also, I don't understand how these women don't have life insurance policies out on their husbands. Like, again, I watch Housewives. Vicky Gunvalson from Orange County, she did life insurance. And her husband got divorced. She told Andy, "Oh yeah, I got a life insurance policy out on." And he was like, "You do?" He was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Do you still pay the premium?" "Sure do." Oh. So if he died, yeah, we getting that money. So
this girl should have been taking notes. Cause see, they think their man ain't never gonna leave them. Girl.
Okay. All right. Look, they need to learn. We got a lot of housewives that's looking stupid. Lisa, Ashley.
It's a lot of them.
A lot.
Yeah. Anyway, before this party, we get a scene with Margaret and Dolores. I guess they were out at some home goods type place, or was it like a plant shop? Could have been home goods. I don't know, but they was looking for something for Teresa at this damn housewarming. And I guess Melissa gets on the phone and she starts talking about, oh, well, Joe doesn't want to go. And it's like, girl, at that point, I'm like, okay, Joe not gonna go. So the question is, girl, at that moment, I was like, well, Melissa, is you going?
Of course you going. It's a cast event.
Because yeah, gotta get paid. And and that's just my thing. I was looking at Melissa, like Melissa had her moments, but she knew exactly when to, okay, time to do my job. I gotta go start this, but we'll get into that later.
And she even said, I'm gonna just go there for an hour, have me a drink, make sure everybody see me, then I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. She wasn't wrong. She was not wrong.
Yeah, and Joe just didn't want no parts of it. He could have showed up a little bit. He could have showed up. No, you don't think so? It probably would have been a problem.
He wasn't going to show up.
Like if I'm just not like clicking with you, like look, I'm gonna just share a little bit. I have strife with one of my siblings.
Okay.
I've made it clear, just like if he has something at his house, I won't be going there. And if I have something over here, he's not invited. Now, if it's at another location, cool, but I'm not going into your domicile and I have conflict with you and you're not coming into mine.
Yeah.
So I get it. Like,
yeah. People start acting different when you at their house. Like, oh yeah, I can say this, and if you try something, I'll kick your ass out. Which I ain't never.
I mean, that might too be because they know where all of the guns and knives are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't act like I ain't got no shit on me too. So okay. Shit. Okay. Now we get to the party, and this is where I look at Teresa and the kids a little. I gave them a little side eye because they found out that Joe wasn't coming, and then like they're like, oh my god, like why would he not show up? This is bad. Like he I don't know why y'all was upset. Like y'all literally ostracize this part of the family, but then when y'all having like this little event, and I guess y'all expected him to come, it was an issue. Even for the kids, I was like, girl, what you mad at?
And the other part about it is Joe and Louis just had a knockdown, drag out argument.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to see you, bruh.
The things could possibly went physical. Especially they were saying.
I think it's also like a lot of families, it's image. Like, because you have some families where we might not be getting along, but if somebody having something, everybody got to be there to put on this united front to show everybody we're family. And then when everybody leave, then we can go back to it. So I guess for
Not
her,
like
she wanted everybody there for the image.
yeah.
That ain't my story. I tell my
That's not-
family in a minute,
yeah.
if I don't like you, no, I'm not going.
Yeah.
I'm not going. And
They
I
never,
come from a big
yeah,
family
yeah.
that's real close. And let me take that back. It's easier for me to say now because my grandmother has gone on to the great, beyond going on to glory. She was about the only one that could make me go. Other than that, I'm not going.
Yeah.
I'm not like right now. If I don't like somebody, no, I'm not going. I don't like him. I don't like her. Mm-mm.
And then it's always like, oh well, you don't hit me up anymore, or you having some what's going on? I'm like, girl, you know exactly what's going on. And my thing is, they had no reason to be upset when they're going through turmoil. They have I feel like this side of the family, Teresa's side of the family, they have a warped reality on like social cues.
But Teresa isn't making it any better.
Yeah.
Like it was, I think, it was last episode when the Gorgas was sitting down with the in-laws, and Melissa just started talking about adult stuff, which threw me. But then Joe just like, hold up, y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go.
Right.
Yeah, they were like, y'all need to go in the house. We about to start talking about grown people stuff.
But no, like no matter how I might feel about my sister, you don't need to feel that way about her. But so when Teresa said, oh, they're not coming, fine. But then she's like, but it's milestones, and how couldn't they? And and now you doing too much. So now you're them involved.
But the other thing about it is Teresa flipped. Teresa went through this whole trying to apologize and make nice with Melissa. She goes back to her house. I think that was last episode, and tells her daughters and Louis, and now they all make her feel bad about apologizing and trying to make nice with Melissa, and now she's back to being mad at Melissa again.
Yeah. And Melissa's being so supportive. Like she showed up, like the way you could just tell on Melissa. She just, first of all, they didn't want to be there. Second of all, when she was talking to the kids, they seemed kind of off putting towards her, and I was just like, "Ugh." Okay. I mean, I get it. You got some issues, whatever issue you got against her, but like it just seemed very standoffish that they were giving. I don't know. I felt bad for Melissa in that scene. Then and then they get up and they do this damn speech, which I thought
that speech was a mess. Oh my God!
Spearheaded that bullshit. She said, we need to get up and talk. And you need to mention the whole chosen.
When she said my chosen family, and he followed that up with what did he say? Where's Joe? Or even Joe? Or
no. I believe that was Bill that said we missed
Bill said that. Bill said that.
I believe it was Bill.
Yeah, it was. It was
messy as hell.
Yeah.
But still, for her to say my choice, you knew, and Melissa was standing right there. Like I was like, oh, damn. I was like, damn. Like in my family, those are fighting words because, like I told you, I got a big close family. You're not getting in no event, a housewarming, whatever, where the family is there, and then you talk about my chosen family, baby. The way my family, baby, it would have been some hands thrown. I'm trying to tell you, because my family is petty like that.
I think
it's play them games.
It's nothing wrong with having a chosen family when your blood relatives are being toxic or whatever the case is, or you want to just disassociate. It's the type of people that be like, oh, I love my chosen family, but be shoving it down their actual family's faces. I think that's some weirdo shit.
Because Melissa was there. So you had to know Melissa is gonna go and tell this to Joe.
Because and they wanted this. They wanted this.
And I mean, and also the several other ladies. It'd be one thing if Melissa felt it, and even if we felt it. The fact that Marge and I think Jackie, maybe one person, they all were just like, we heard that. That was messed up. And it's like,
like it was so obvious. Like, it was like, really?
Like, I'm like, Teresa, you really rolling like that? But see, I think Louis probably put her up on it. Louis is pulling her strings. It's clear as day. She didn't even want to get on that. Why y'all get on the top on that fucking table?
And I didn't need to know you don't have on underwear, ma'am.
Plan. Yeah, don't.
I didn't need to know that.
Like, I don't got on underwear. Then I think it was Paulie or somebody else was like, yeah, I seen. I'm like, what you see?
A mess.
Child.
A complete and utter mess.
Yeah. So the Jennifers and Danielle and all them, they get into it. I don't know how it started. Somebody please walk me through.
So the way that it started is Melissa went to Jackie and told Jackie, hey, Jackie, I told Danielle what you said about her. Yeah. Then Jackie had her stuff to say. Danielle overheard her name. Danielle walked over in the passive aggressive way, though I wasn't mad at it, saying, so is this appropriate? And then they start having words. Jackie tried to carry the situation, talking about when she was talking with her hands, like, are you threatening me?
But Jackie was talking with her hands. So I'm like, wait, what?
Jackie was, and my thing is this, Danielle.
Are you threatening me? Girl.
Danielle, you should have got your shit because she punked the shit out you. How you get punked by Jackie? I love you, Danielle, but I
love Jackie, but she's coming out real nasty. The
moment that bitch would have said, "Oh, I was expecting you to apologize, so if you're not, get the fuck out of my face," I'd have been like, "Hold up, bitch."
Yeah, it would have been on and popping from there. I apologize to you for what?
Staten Island, you know. I think Danielle was saving her at that moment. I think she just was like, you know, she could have been taken back. Like, I know this bitch ain't. Because we all like that was Jackie. Now, from what I remember from Jackie, you was not that girl. You was over there crying because Jennifer was coming for you, and she reminded you of your old bully or whatever. I remember that side of Jackie. So I'm like, where did this Jackie come from? Who this? This is clearly not you.
So that happened. Jackie walks off, and then Jackie at one point goes and has a shot with Jennifer Aiden. Marge being in grammar school saying, she called you bougie, uppity, something like that. Don't really matter. Jackie said, I've been called worse. It's okay. And then she's like, well, I'm really mad because, she was talking about me to Jen Fessler. So then those who get into it, then they call over Jen Fessler. And then Rachel says, oh no, because you also talked to me, and boom, there we go.
Yeah. It was so much going on. Like, I was like, okay, wait, I'm trying to keep in track of the names, like who coming for who.
I'm surprised I still remember, but
yeah, it all stemmed from goddamn Jennifer, the original Jennifer child.
Not just that, but also Marge, because people don't peep. Marge is great for TV. Marge is who Giselle wished she was. Marge literally will come into a scene, start some stuff, and don't nobody see it. Like the mozzarella party. When Teresa's like, yeah, so I was thinking about, seating arrangements. And then Marge's like, yeah, you might want to, because you know what happened the last time.
No, I caught that.
And then Teresa and Melissa get into it, not knowing Marge. Marge does that all the time, where she'll sit here, throw something out there, and then just sit back and let them fight.
Yeah, that's Marge. I like Marge though. She kind of funny.
And messy.
The funniest part was when Danielle was leaving, and you sure you ready to go? You can go back and fuck that bitch up now.
Danielle was another one too. I'm like, I get you guys are newbies. You're trying to find.
Baby, I would have laid Jackie the fuck out.
Yes.
I think with Rachel, because at first I was just like, how you gonna sit here and tell her to watch her mouth and you don't follow up when she calls you an effing idiot again? But it looked like she saw her. You know how when you going at it with somebody and then it's just like, I'm giving you too much. Let me pull it back. I think that's literally what happened. Is she was about to go there and decided, you know what? She ain't worth it. I don't want to do this.
Let me tell y'all something. Y'all are trying to get these moments that's going to last forever on social media. You give it to them. You don't walk away from no goddamn fight especially for no. for someone, I'm guessing y'all probably watched the previous seasons. Girl, Jackie ain't about that.
Now,
She not about that.
wait. Jackie got mouth though. Jackie didn't win word for word. Well, it's not hard to go word for word with Teresa, but she didn't got Teresa out her body. The only thing is Jackie ain't gonna fight. But Jackie will argue with Jackie. Got the vocabulary. She broke down, what was it, last season and season before, because they were coming for her marriage. And I'm just like, I was even like, Jackie, you doing too much damn cry. If you gonna cry, don't do it in front of them hoes.
Right.
And let me tell you something, girls. Know y'all place. Y'all are cast members. She is a friend now. She's demoted. That should have been the first thing. I'd be like, bitch, that's why you ain't even here. What you doing? What you in this group for? You not even Housewives of New Jersey, my dear.
Well, be like, bitch, I'm making more money than you. What?
Okay. They should have definitely. I was disappointed in Danielle, because she knows she could do it. Like she from Staten Island. Okay, we talk with our hands. I don't even know what Jackie talking about, because honey, this is Jersey. We mean.
But Jackie was talking with her hands, so that's why it didn't even make any sense for her to say that to her.
Or if it was too much in her face, she could have easily been like, could you please take a step back? Or she could have taken a step back. Like, it's certain things you can do to kind of like de-escalate it. That's why I was looking at Jackie like, you doing too. And again, her trying to carry that moment did piss me off. When she's like, oh, you would know if I got my hands in your face. This is how I talk. Are you threatening me? I was like, damn it, Jackie.
Girl, right. Are you threatening me? I was like, girl.
Ain't a threat, it's a promise. Look, see.
Now, I just can't wait for next week, because I want to see Marge tear into Jen, because you can clearly see that wasn't put on.
Yeah,
that one is coming. That one is coming. Jen about to get what she's looking for. Mama is looking for a moment. She about to get that moment.
Yeah,
Marge is, because you can when you watch, you can tell like, okay, this ain't a real scene, but it's entertaining. No,
you can't piss off like you rarely does Marge get that pissed off. I ain't never seen her that active.
Well, when she said that she actually has a happy marriage, I was just like, oh. And James Colwell has said it best. Reading and shading is rooted in truth. That's when you know it's a good one, though everybody else may not get the full impact, but if that person has a hush over their spirit, you did your job.
Yep.
And that, I was just like,
damn.
I bet you somebody will say she went too low.
And I always tell people, shade is delivered to people you don't know. Reading is for your in circle. That's for the girls who you know. Like that. When you read a bitch, like, these are bitches you know and you got history with, because you can pull from the truth. You can shade a bitch from face value. Bitch, I just met you. I can shade you real fast. That's just like shade, honey. But a read, yeah, that's some shit where we got experience. We got history. Bitch, I'm coming for your core. Bitch, I'm here to disavow you.
No, Margaret is definitely she's gonna do what it has to be done, because Jennifer, I don't know, I never liked Jennifer. That's the thing. She just always seemed real flaky, real fake. Like, if things don't go my way, I'm just gonna have like a little fit about it. And now we didn't talk about Dolores that much, because she was in it too, because she was being talked about.
I mean, but Dolores is love struck.
Yeah,
because there were several moments in a couple of the episodes, we only in episode 4, where I thought Dolores about to pop off, but I guess because she's so infatuated, she just letting some stuff slide.
Yeah, so, I don't want to look crazy in front of him, so I'm gonna just
probably giving her some good dick right now. I guess she all right.
Is she? Oh, let me stop.
I don't feel like he is either, but I'm gonna let her have it.
I Buzz Lightyear dick. No, but let me tell you something about them husbands. Danielle's husband look good as hell. He just, I don't know. Something about them. Wait, what is she? Is she she Italian, right? They Italian? No.
I think
Yeah.
she's Jewish.
No. Rachel is half Jewish, half Italian.
Yeah.
Danielle is Italian. Yeah.
Okay, and the husband probably is too. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Or was she Irish?
Really? Oh, she could be a little. She look a little Irish.
I don't know.
I remember because I remember when I saw her mom and dad. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, I gotta jump, y'all.
Oh, you gotta get off?
Yeah, I gotta jump.
All right. Well, that was it for the show, guys. See y'all next week. We're gonna be talking about episode 5 or whatever. We just gonna be on the same this channel, or y'all want to alternate? Oh, I guess he was like,
I guess we gotta wait to find out.
All right, okay. Okay.